Dishonored is, in my humble opinion, and I hope it's not too controversial to say this, a good game. From the gorgeous and unique art design that helps the game hold up graphically over 10 years later, to the ridiculous amounts of options provided to the player at any one time, be it the various routes you can take for each level, or the myriad of ways. You got a lot of ways, the various ways that you can approach or avoid any encounter. From frag grenade to folding blade. Summon a rat plague and blow it away. Start clash and steal, or just orange pill. In this video, I'm going to concentrate specifically on the melee weapons. Whoa, hold up. Roll it back. As iconic as Corvo's signature weapon is, it's not actually the first sword you'll use in the game, or the second. It's actually the third of a total 6 blades that can be found throughout your playtime. In the prologue mission, Returning Home, our protagonist Corvo returns home, after being sent on a trip to the neighbouring isles as part of his duties as Royal Protector. A title with which comes a certain level of prestige, and with that comes the drip. Yes sir, it's the officer's sword, which I so foolishly left out of my previous All Dishonored Swords video. You'll often see this weapon being carried by, funnily enough,
an officer of the watch.
An interesting little tidbit about the officer's sword is that it's the only melee weapon in the game that doesn't show up in your inventory when you have it equipped. If you're especially fond of this superbly stylish saber, you'll be glad to know that it can be picked up a couple more times during the campaign. The first of which is in the next mission, the prison escape. If you make it to the door without picking up a sword, you can get one from an officer that will occasionally spawn after the alarm goes off. According to the Dishonored wiki, it's also possible to get one by choking out Officer Thorpe, the guard that slips you the key to escape your cell. Though I haven't personally seen anybody do it, and my attempts were somewhat fruitless, though no doubt it can be done utilising some sort of movement exploit or bug that I'm sure someone like Tomato Anus could tell you all about much better than I could.
By standing and looking in a specific spot, we can spam jump quickly by having it bound to our scroll wheel, which will put you up and over the locked door, skipping most of the level.
The third and final chance you'll have to grab the blade is after the flooded district, though I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Next up, we've got the City Watch sword, specifically this one, the weapon left for you by Officer Thorpe. Considering how much care has clearly been taken in setting this scene, it would seem as though the same care was not taken in placing the sword itself, as it's upside down and the hilt is clipping through the table. But never mind, we'll pick it up and carry on through the prison.
Attention, the solitary room is off limits to maintenance.
After escaping into the sewers, you'll eventually come across a conspicuous looking case. Upon opening the case, you'll find what will come to be the staples of your arsenal for the majority of your playtime, the folding blade and crossbow. Now taking a closer look at the folding blade, you can see that it's made up of 3 major pieces, the handle, the middle blade and the tip, with the tip folding into the middle and the middle then folding into the handle. All of this is then held in place with a latch on the handle, which Corvo can then flick to release the entire mechanism. Right, so the thing about that, everything I just said is pretty much right, except nothing folds. The blade actually slides into itself, sort of like a telescope does. Why is it called a folding blade? Fucked if I know. The weapon was designed by famed inventor Piero Joplin and was made during Corvo's 6-month-long incarceration, specifically for his planned escape and subsequent return to the world of stabbing.
I'm Samuel. The man of the hour is here. Corvo, I'm Corvo. Like you.
And I'm Lady Emily. You should introduce yourself to Piero.
While we don't know specifically how Piero designed the folding blade, we do know that inspiration for Corvo's mask came to him in a series of dreams. Dreams bestowed upon him by the Outsider.
Hello, Corvo. I am the Outsider.
Since the weapon shares a similar, otherworldly, void-like design, I like to think that inspiration for this sword was also brought about by those dreams. Now, the only real difference between the folding blade and any other sword, besides the fact that you can get blood on it, is that it's the only melee weapon that you can upgrade. Just the one upgrade, bear in mind. Oh shit, I didn't loot enough in the previous. Hold on.
In the month of darkness, seasons destroy.
Okay, now that we've gathered at least 600 coins, go ahead and buy the sword crossing upgrade. Not that you'll be locking blades a lot, but it's worth mentioning that if you pair this upgrade with the Fencer Bone Charm, you'll basically never lose. Okay, but that actual reason that we bought it, fucking look at it. Just look at it. I'm not even gonna explain. Just buy it. You probably use for the rest of the game. Yes. Look at him go. Moving swiftly on to the remaining 3 melee weapons. All of which can be found in the flooded district, after Corvo is knocked unconscious and wakes up naked in a cage. Metaphorically naked, as you've been stripped of all your gear and
I know what
weapons.
it felt like to shove a blade into your empress.
After waking up next to a couple little rat buddies, proceed to make your escape. Just the one rat buddy. But never mind, we got. Once you've escaped through the hatch, you'll be presented with a choice. You can either pick up the Overseer's Saber, which is a standout if only for its looks, or you can pick up the Assassin's Blade, which I personally tend to pass by, if I'm honest, because you'll carry it through the course of both DLCs, in which it looks exactly the same, functions exactly the same, except now you can get blood on it. Last but by no means least, we've got my personal favourite, the Gang Cleaver. Though I've got to admit, it's quite the task trying to get your hands on it. Only attainable after progressing through the entire flooded district, including Dow's hideout, completely unarmed. Once that's done, carry on until you come across these 2 fine lads right here. Take one of them out, and that's it. It's yours.
Cut the rope. My hands are tied. My hands are bound. Untie me. Cut me loose, thank you. I'll wait for your word.